Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Om Gung Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Aim Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Gananam Tva Ganapati Gum Havamahe. Kavim Kavinam Upamashrabastamam. Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashrinvannodipissida sadhanam. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidanandamurtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Yashatmabhudasya Guruprasadat Aham Vimuktasmi Samsara Bandhad Sarvopadeshtu Shivanandamurtehe Mardvakriyukmam Pranadasmi Nityam Dayasindhum Dinabandhum Shastratabothanapatum Maskarindra Varam Naumi Sri Chidananda Sadgurum. Om Praninam Dukkhahartaro Jnanadau Bhuvana Muktaye Shivananda Chidanandau Ashraye Guru Sattamau. Om Namo Narayanaya. 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 Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Ramachandraya. Om Namo Bhagavate Shivanandaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Chidanandaya. So we have been going through the sadhana pada of Patanjali, and Patanjali says, starts his sadhana pada with tapaswadhyaya ishvara pranidhanani kriya yoga. Austerities, study of scriptures, and surrender to God constitute the sadhana, the kriya yoga, and it helps you to turn the mind inward and to removes the impediments, the problems that you are facing, the afflictions. So what are the problems? The problems are five: avidya, asmita, ragadvesha, abhiniveshaha. Ignorance, sense of ego, attachment, hatred and fear. Then he says, these have come to you and they can go back. Te pratiprasavaheyaha. How to remove that? They are very subtle, you cannot handle them. The effect of that is in the form of thoughts, vrittis. Those vrittis can be removed by meditation. When the effect is removed, the cause also gets removed. As temperature is controlled, the cause that is producing the temperature, that is also controlled. So, dhyanaheyaha tadvrittayaha. Then he says, then these are what you have acquired actually. And so long as they are there, they will have its fruition, they will have its effect. Klesha mulaha, he says. So therefore you have to wipe out that. What to do that? Then he says, do one thing, no more acquisition of new impressions. Whatever is there, let it be there, no more acquisition of new impressions. Yesterday I was mentioning an example of this fruit vendor who wants to stop coming to the market and standing in the hot sun. So the first thing he has to do is no more new purchase of fruits. Then if the old stock is sold out, he need not come out. So then he says, Heyam dukkha vanagatam. The anagata dukkha has to be avoided. Agata dukkha you cannot do anything. Anagata dukkha you have to avoid. What is that dukkha? Then he says that your identification with the object. If you see the object as an object and you remain as a witness, no problem is there. But if you involve in that, then there is a problem. So this involvement, your identification with the object is the problem. A doctor can do surgery, open heart surgery, but he cannot do on his son or on his wife. Why? Because the moment he goes there, he is emotionally attached to that person. So he will say, somebody else do it. And he will have all the anxiety whether he is doing it properly. When he is doing, no problem. So your involvement, your identification with the object is your problem. So that identification you have to stop. Then he says, why are we identifying? What is that object? What is my relationship with that object? You identify with the object, it is mine, it is me. What exactly is that object? Then he says, there is a definition of an object. Prakasha, Kriya, Stitishilam, Bhuta, Indriyatmakam, Bhoga, Apavargartam, Drishyam. Prakasha, Kriya, Stitishilam, Bhuta, Indriyatmakam, Bhoga, Apavargartam, Drishyam. The drishya, that is object, can make you happy or unhappy. Bhoga, it can give you happiness or unhappiness. Bhoga means both. Enjoyment means enjoyment and sorrow, both. It can create some form of pleasure or pain in you, and it can also be neutral. It can also be neutral. Apavarga means neutral. You see it as a witness. You are not getting involved. So the drishya can provide you bhoga, that it can provide you apavarga. Apavarga means moksha. You are not worried about it. You take things as it is. And what is that object? Prakasha kriya stitishilam. No, I already told you. Bhuta indriyatmakam. It is either a subtle thing, prakasha, a light thing. It can be an action. It can be an inert matter. This table is an inert matter, stitishilam. It exists, that's all. It exists. And this table is mine. So if it is dirty, hey, you please wipe it out. To make it clean, they say. So it is an inert matter. It's a beautiful definition of an object. What is an object? Then so many definitions can be given. But he gives a very beautiful definition. It is that which make you happy or unhappy. Or you just take it, you are indifferent to that. You are not affected by that. You are just a witness. You just see. Nothing happens to you. It can happen, it can create something, it need not create something. Two categories. Then he says, it can be placed under again three categories. Under that, stitishilam, it is only an inert matter, this glass. The other thing is, a monkey is running towards you. The monkey sitting there is not disturbing you. The monkey is running towards you, like that. Then you are afraid. It creates some fear, or then you pick up a stone. So that is kriyashilam. So it is action, some actions. An object can be an activity. A car running. the wind blowing. The dog wafts its tail in its happiness. So it comes and does like this and wafts its tail. It makes you happy. It says, ah. Then you are worried. So it is an action. So it is kriya. It can be a subtle thing. There was an earthquake yesterday. The tremor was there in Delhi. The tremor was there in Chhattisgarh, Bihar, UP, etc. Suppose if your home is at UP, then what happens? Then you begin to worry. You telephone to your relatives. Are you all okay? So there is piece of information. There was an earthquake of 6.9. Vector scale it is 6.9, round about 7. So what has happened to my relatives? Whether the tremor will be here. Once there was a tremor here, night, so many people came out. And many do not know what is this. And then somebody started telling, oh, it is an earthquake. Then fear gripped in their minds. I heard the first sound, the doors banging. Then I thought, the langur has jumped so hard. Then I thought, if langur has jumped in the terror, my cot will not go like this. What is this? It can be an earthquake. So the information is there. Immediately I came out. And then I saw that was an earthquake. There was an earthquake. Then somebody told me everybody should go and stand in the open space. Then I said, the earthquake is now over. Why should you go now? Or let us be here. So, an information. So, Prakash, it can be a source of information. Sattvic, we call it as Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Sattva is a source of light, and a piece of information. Rajas is activity. And Tamas is inertia, a state of being actually. So, an object is either an information, very subtle, or an activity which is gross, or it can be an inert matter. And then it is, even then the object is not available to us. So the earthquake was there. If you are sleeping, no earthquake. A tiger comes and smells you and go. Nothing will happen. You will sleep. It smells here. You will sleep. But you open your eyes and see a tiger smelling. What will happen? You will create fear in the mind of the tiger and the tiger will kill you. So, an object has no existence unless your indriyas fall on them. It is bhuta indriyatmakam. It is the coming together of that material and your sense organs. You are not here if your mind is elsewhere. You are not here. Sometimes I tell you, hey, no crosstalk. If I did not see, I will not say. So it is, an object is the coming together of that object and your sense organs. If the sense organs doesn't fall on that, then the object has no existence. If there is a scorpion underneath my cushion, if I have not seen that existence is not there, it may be moving here, nothing will happen. The moment I feel some sensation, what is this? I look. Then there is scorpion, oh, big sound, and then throwing away all these things. Something is moving here, maybe scorpion. So, it is bhuta indriyatmakam. You see, these are all beautiful definitions. Nowhere you find such definitions. An object is the coming together of a elemental thing and your sense organs. When I see you, I don't see the life in you. You see only that body. Whether you see a tiger or a dog or a man, you see only the form, the Panchabhautika Sharira you see. You don't see the life in that. You don't see the Atma in that. Blessed Atman, you don't see the Atman. Blessed body only you see. So it is a Panchabhautika, it is an elemental thing. That elemental thing comes in contact with my sense organs. Either I hear a sound or smell a taste, a smell, or taste something, or feel something, or see something. So that is an object actually, a coming together of the Panchabhutas, earth, water, fire, air and ether, and the sense organs coming together is an object. It can be an information, it can be an activity, it can be an existing thing, a stationary thing, and it causes pain or pleasure, or it is neutral. Bhoga apavargartham. Have you understood? You cannot give a better definition for an object beyond this. Nobody has given this, a definition beyond this. What is an object? Generally, an object has no existence until the subject comes in contact with that. Okay? Nothing will disturb you unless you know it. The knowing is through the sense organs. It is through the indriyas. And the object which is disturbing you is a Panchabhautika. The life of the tiger is not disturbing you. Its shape is disturbing you. Your information about the tiger is disturbing you. If you have not seen a tiger at all, if you have known nothing, oh, it's a wonderful thing. What is this? Let me go and see close to it. You will move towards that. First time you see a tiger lying down there, nothing known, what will happen? You will try to go and see what is this. So the informations, the object and the subject coming together, the bhuta, Panchabhautika, vastu, and the subject coming together, your sense organs coming together, is the object. It can create problem and it can be neutral. So, if it creates problem, it is because your input informations, your processing unit has got the problem. Any problem is because of the processing unit here. Otherwise, no problem. Okay? This is how Patanjali puts it. The world is bad is not correct. The world is okay. Here the unit here which processes the information, that is a problem unit, which many cannot accept. You cannot accept it because it directly deals with you. You want to put the blame on the other fellow. So this is what you have to learn here, not the other things. Not this big Indian philosophy or Eastern philosophy, Western philosophy, this philosophy, that philosophy. This is the philosophy. My world is my creation. My life is my creation. Do you want it beautiful or do you want to make it ugly? To the extent you are able to see things beautiful, here everything is beautiful, to what extent you are able to see that? So that is objects. So prakasha kriya sthitishilam bhuta indriyatmakam Boga, apavargartham drishyam. Bogartham drishyam, apavargartham drishyam. The drishya, the object can make you happy or unhappy, or it can be neutral. You decide which way you want it. These are the key sutras of Patanjali, not Chittavritti Nirodha. Yoga, Chittavritti Nirodha is not the key sutra. This is the key sutra. Maitri Karuna Mudita Upekshanam Sukha Dukkha Punya Punya Vishayanam Bhavanataha Chitta Prasadanam. These are the key sutras. You want to change the whole world. I give you the technique. What technique you adapt to yourself? What technique you are going to give me? You make your world beautiful. I don't want any technique from you, my dear. So Patanjali says, it is your chitta prasada depends upon that. And your object which is, if it is disturbs you, it is your creation. If you are happy with that, it is your creation. Now, he says, these objects I would like to place on 16 categories, he says. First he places it under 3 categories, Prakasha Kriya Sthiti Sheelam. It can be an information, it can be a subtle thing, it can be an activity, it can be an inert matter. Now he says, I place them under 16 categories, or he says it can be 4. 4, then 4 into 4, 16. Vishesha, Avishesha, Lingamatra, Alingani, Gunaparvani. Vishesha, Avishesha, Lingamatra, Alingani, Gunaparvani. These 3, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, these are the 3 that he doesn't mention it, but it is 3. These have got 4 categories, Vishesha, Avishesha, Linga, Alinga. Vishesha means specialized, diversified. And Avishesha means non-diversified. In English, specialization means something different actually. Specialized means from the general you have specialized. You say there is a neurosurgeon, it's a speciality. Surgeon is a commonality. So Avishesha is that. So he says, Vishesha, Avishesha, Linga Matra. Linga means indicatable, that it is, oh this is that boy, you can indicate. You cannot indicate also. Where is the space? Everywhere. Here you cannot say. Where is the glass? Here. Where is the space? We cannot indicate. So like that, that which is indicatable, that which is not indicatable, that which is non-diversified, and that which is diversified. Shabda, sound, is Avishesha, non-diversified. Hari Om is a special sound. It's a diversified sound. Hari Om is different from Namah Shivaya. They are distinct. But Hari Om and Namah Shivaya and X, Y, Z, everything is Shabda. All are sounds. But this is a particular sound. Furniture is Avishesha. Table, chair, cot, these are Vishesha. So like that he makes under 4 categories: special, that is specified and non-specified, then indicatable and non-indicatable. 4 categories he says. In that there are 16 items he makes. There is a chart you see here. In the page there is a chart, in the book you can see chart. There he says Prakriti first. The first unmanifest, the most subtle thing. According to Sankhya philosophy, there are 2 realities. So the inquiry of the Darshanikas were how many things are real. So if you take furniture, there are so many items, table, cot and all these things. But you say furniture, it becomes one. So if you group everything, if you synthesize, all wooden things are furniture. All this, he is from Kerala, he is from Tamil Nadu, he is from this place, he is from Oriya. But they are Indians. They are human beings. So we have brought them into one group actually. Likewise, if you bring them, then the ultimate, the primary cause, the primordial cause, there are two things, he says, two things were there, two realities. One is the Purusha and the other is the Prakriti or Pradhana. Purusha and Prakriti. This is the Dvaita. This is the Dvaitavata. Dvaita does not mean whether you and God are separate or that is not Dvaita. According to the Indian school of thoughts, the philosophy, the darshanas, how many realities are there? These are all later developments. How many realities are there? There is only one reality. There is more than one reality. There are two realities, three realities, five realities. So which are the real things which cannot be reduced further? So they came to conclusion there is only one reality, that one has become many. No, there was more than one which became many. This more than one is Dvaita. Dvaita does not mean duality. Duality means plurality. Fundamental thoughts, the Indian thought says there is only one reality, there is more than one reality. Okay? Not the chair and the table are not reality. The chair and table are wood. That is one reality. The wood is, so many trees are there, they all belong to. They are all earth modification. So like that they go. So finally they came to conclusion there is one reality and there is more than one reality. So the one reality is Advaita and there is more than one reality is Dvaita. Afterwards only this Shankara, the Madhva theory, this theory, that theory are later developments and they are gross statements. In the ultimate analysis, Dvaita means how many realities are there. The ontology, they say there are two realities. The Purusha, the life principle, and the inert matter, Prakriti. Purusha and Prakriti, two things are there. So that Prakriti, what is that Prakriti? We cannot say anything. We cannot. When everything is reduced to that, even space we cannot understand. That being the case, what is the cause of that space? So we will not be able to understand that. So he says Alinga. Then he says that Prakriti manifested itself into one which is called, they call it as Mahat. Second you see Prakriti, then the Mahat, the cosmic intelligence. The cosmic intelligence or the macro intelligence. It is not the micro level, it is the macro level, macro intelligence. So it is indicatable. The cosmic intelligence, some word we have used. And they say all your intelligence put together. And then that, the cosmic intelligence becomes individual intelligence. And then it asserts itself. It asserts itself. I am independent, like that. It became independent and it begins to assert itself. So it is called Ahankara. So Prakriti, Mahat, then Aham. In this body there are so many cells. So many cells are there. Some cell begin to assert itself. Every cell here has got the capacity to produce another cell. You know this? If you make a cut here, then the cell will produce some other cells and then it will close. So every cell is potential with capacity to produce another cell. But they are not producing now. So one day one cell thinks, I will produce. The person sitting behind you can stretch his leg. He is not stretching his leg and kicking you. But he has got that capacity. So if he begins to do like this, what will happen? Then first 2-3 times he will look back. Then I ask, hey, what is the matter? Then I have to take action against him. Likewise, these cells, they think, I got potential to produce something, I will produce something. It produces another cell here. Then what is it called? Cancer. Then we have to kill that fellow. Like that, he has to die. Eventually he will have his death. Likewise, this cosmic intelligence, in the cosmic intelligence, there is an individual micro level. That fellow started asserting himself. That is ahankara. So they call it as avishesha. That is ahankara. That ahankara, then you say, hey, who are you? Then I say, I am so and so. I hail from this place. I am superior to the other fellow. All these things you begin to say. So he produces something. Those are called the mind, the mana. Then the tanmatras, the 5 rudimentary elements. That is Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Sense of touch, sense of smell, sense of seeing, hearing, and seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touch. Panchatanmatras. These are also very subtle. What is taste, you cannot say. What is sound, you cannot say, which is very subtle. So then that gives birth to Panchabhutas, the 5 elements. The earth. The earth has got the quality of smell. Water has quality of the taste. And fire has the quality of shape, form. Then sense of touch, air, and sound comes from the space. So these 5 rudimentary elements, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, this becomes the earth, water, fire, air, and space. Then the 5 motor organs, then the 5 sense organs, the eye, ear, nose. And then these are the 5 sense organs, 5 rudimentary elements, 5 motor organs, karmendriyas, jnanendriyas, panchabhuta, and panchatanmatra, plus mind, 16. So these 5 motor organs, 5 sense organs, 5 bhutas, panchabhutas, and the mind, this 16 are called Vishesha. The 5 tanmatras and the ahankara called Avishesha. The macro buddhi, the cosmic intelligence, it is called Mahat. And before that, the cause of that is called Prakriti and Pradhana. These are the 24 principles according to Sankhya Shastra. So there are two main realities, Prakriti and Purusha. The Prakriti manifests itself into total 24 things. Prakriti, then Mahat, then Ahankara, then the mind, then the five Tanmatras, 5 motor organs, 5 sense organs, and 5 Panchabhutas. Like that it became 24. 24 plus 1, Purusha, 25. Because these are all numbers, this is called Sankhya Shastra. Sankhya is there. So these are the 25 principles which constitute an object. These Panchabhutas and the Karmendriyas, Jnanendriyas, not Karmendriyas, Jnanendriyas, coming together is an object. This Panchabhautika Vastu, you, and my sense organ coming together is an object. So these objects are placed under 24 categories starting from Prakriti to the Panchabhutas. Prakriti, Mahat, then Aham, then the mind, then the 5 Tanmatras, 5 motor organs, 5 sense organs, and 5 Panchabhutas. 5 elements, 5 rudimentary elements, 5 motor organs, 5 sense organs, mind, Ahankara, that's ego, then the cosmic ego, that is Mahat, and then the Prakriti. These 24 plus Purusha is the cosmology according to Sankhya Shastra. And that cosmology is accepted by Patanjali in his Yoga Shastra. Hari Om.